Hello, dear participants. You are all welcome to the eSafety Label online conference. As you know, our world has gone through a rapid change and transformation recently. Whichever TV program we watch, which speaker we listen to, it's said that nothing will be same again after COVID-19 pandemic. While we try to prepare our children for 10 years, for 20 years later, we may forget some vital issues. If, for example, someone had told us last year that there would be a disease worldwide in 2020 and we couldn't leave our homes for months, this would certainly be something that we would make fun of. Unfortunately, this happened and all of the humanity were caught off guard. What I want to say is that while we prepare our children for an unknown world after 10, 20 years, we should remind ourselves that there may be other variables at any time. So one of the most important topics in education systems in the world, which has been rapidly globalized in the last 10 years, is education technology. I'm sure you appreciate that we are using the internet and technology effectively in almost every area of our lives, and this includes education also. Having been born and raised in this technology, the new generation has a different perspective compared to us. When this is the case, as educators, it's and tries to protect them from the threats of online life. At this point, the eSafety Label portal presents a Europe-wide accreditations and support service for schools, which aims to provide a safe and enriching environment for safe access to online technology as a part of the teaching and learning experience. So thanks to the eTwinning Label community, schools can review their online security infrastructures, policies, and practices in accordance with national and international standards. And today, we are here with our precious speakers who will give you in-depth information about eSafety. The Greek eSafety Label Coordinator, my dear friend Aris Loris, will be with you soon. I would like to thank him for accepting our invitation, and I would like to thank you too for sparing your time and for your participation. Please enjoy the conference.
Okay. Hi from Athens, Greece. I'd like firstly to thank my dear friend and colleague Turan, and of course all the colleagues from our neighborhood country for the honor to be the keynote presenter as for this online conference. And before sharing my screen, I would like to congratulate my colleagues for this online conference. I'm already impressed by the participants. They have already reached the audience of 185 and it's still increasing, which is quite impressive, and congratulations for your idea which came into practice today. Today it's Saturday, it's 2 o'clock in both countries. And this is very encouraging to see both colleagues, teachers of primary and secondary education from Turkey and Greece to be with us this time, this particular time of the day, which is a very hot day actually here in our country, and I assume that's the same case in yours as well. I would like before sharing my screen to have a notification somehow, either by voice or in the chat, that you can hear me well, so I can proceed. Okay, thank you very much for the confirmation. And at this moment, I would like to share my screen. And I would like to be and share computer sound as well. Okay, I assume you can see my screen right now. And as my colleague Turan has already introduced and said, I'm the eSafety label coordinator for my country, as he's in his country. And Turan, you should feel very lucky because you have a moderator in your team. I wish that I had this luxury in my team and I could have a moderator. Of course, here we have 5 national ambassadors actually spread in the country, and we are trying to increase them by the end of the month. So we will talk about social media and kids. This presentation is shared through Mentimeter. I assume most of you, since you are into the e-twinning action, that you know this specific Web2 tool, and I would like your contribution when asked to. So whether you have your mobile phone with you or you have a spare Surface or a laptop, you can join when asked in some particular points of the presentation. So we will talk about social media and kids, and this is actually, as already Turan mentioned in his prologue, a very peculiar, allow me to say, period, because if we were asked 2 months ago or 3 months ago in the beginning of the year what should happen in our lives, no one would believe that through our homes now and through our digital devices we would be entering an online conference. And this would be science fiction 3 months ago. Now it's a reality. So we are somehow experiencing the digital age, referring to the fourth industrial revolution, which is already taking place since the last 10 years. And in this digital age, imagine if we are somehow having a difficulty in adjusting to it. Imagine how difficult this may be for kids, or not. It could be more easy for them since they are born in this digital age for the last years, and since they have internet in their lives, as you can assume. So let me go to my next slide. So how would you, if you want to participate, you can see the number of the Menti. You go to menti.com and you can use the code 313416. You can go to menti.com 31, allow me to see this again, 3416. How would you describe eSafety in one word?
Arkadaşlar
So I'm waiting.
menti.com'a girip yukarıdaki kodu yazarak e-güvenlik sizin için tek bir kelimeyle ne ifade ettiğini yazarsanız seviniriz. Dear Aris, I translated to Turkish teachers who don't speak English, so
thank you very much, Turan.
Thank you too.
Thank you very much for this contribution. Much appreciated.
Thank
and
you.
here the cloud of words is already taking place. We have already 8 now. So we can see the cloud of words in your terms. You can use more words than this, of course. And I will allow you some time in order to have it on the screen. Security so far is the most used word. Privacy, confidence, I like this word a lot. For the Turkish words, allow me to say I don't understand it. There is a Turkish word as well, so it will be better if you put it in English, if you don't mind. So we see security and privacy now. Confidence as well is one of the most strong words that our colleagues are using. We have already 53, and it's increasing. Quite impressive, don't you think? So eSafety, or online safety as we could describe it. And this, there is, allow me to say, the official definition of online safety in the site of eSafety label. And I guess, I assume that later on, or your online conference, in your specific presentation about eSafety label, you would point out more into the site. So I think that protection as well is a new word we can also see in our cloud, which is transforming as more participants enter it. And it is very nice to see the safe word as well there. And also freedom, being safety, social media. We have already said confidence. So this is somehow a simple definition of eSafety for you. You can also use the word online safety. I really do appreciate that the confidence word is one that it's there, and it's a strong word, as we can see it, along with security and privacy. Knowledge is another word we can see. Protection as well. So protection probably in the digital environment, in our digital ecosystems, our schools. And I'm very pleased to see these answers by you. And eSafety is an umbrella of different many aspects, of course, and it cannot be limited only to one word. So it was a teasing, allow me to say, question, which you participated into it with success, and I would like to thank you for this. We had almost 100 answers there, and it's very nice to see our word cloud, how it transforms and makes the definition in just one word. And as I said before, you cannot limit it because it's too many things that we can consider about online safety. So I'd like you to keep this code, and because we will use it in some other slides as well. And eSafety, allow me to say that it's an underestimated perception in not only in our countries, but all around the world. What I mean by saying underestimated perception or meaning, not a lot of people give eSafety or online safety the importance that they should give. So all these words that you have used, and confidence, I'm very glad, as I said, it's there because the motto, the logo of eSafety label is that we should have safer schools, confident teachers, happier pupils. This is the motto, the logo of eSafety label. So if you think about it, by having safer schools, that which eSafety label provides us with, because it is the tool, and I'm into this tool since its very beginning, since 2013, and I have lived it all these 7 years of its existence. For me personally, I believe it's a very strong tool. It's a very strong online tool, so you can see into it and you can apply it to your school. It needs some time in the beginning from you in order to answer to specific questions that will come automatically to you. But it's if you spend this time productively and answering sincerely, you will have a better view of how your school is secured or non-secured in this digital age we described. And it covers a lot of topic issues which are in this eSafety definition of it, which you can find it in eSafety label site, as I said before. So, Turan, may I proceed with my presentation? I think I have a very clear view here.
Yes, yes, of course.
If you want to translate, you're more than welcome to do so for the colleagues that may not understand very well my English. So you're free to do
yeah,
so.
my friend is Charlie is here. He can help to translate Turkish if the teachers need, of course. But you can keep going, okay?
Okay. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Turan, I proceed. So, after having this definition of eSafety in a word, let's think about, because I have lived the modem, the classical modem, and its weird sound when trying to connect the 56 kilobits per second. So it was a weird device, let's say like the router we know in our homes, and it was making, when you were trying to connect in internet in those old years I'm familiar to, was making a very strange noise, which was of course taking time, and it was a very low quality connection, as you can imagine, because if you wanted to download a low quality song, an MP3, let's say of 3 minutes and 30 seconds, it would take you around 10 minutes back in 1996 to download it. So you can imagine that 24 to 25 years ago, almost half of my age, this was the situation, the one that you see. The speed of internet was like this, and it has nothing to do absolutely with 3G, 4G, and 5G. As you can see the numbers, if you want, for example, to download a movie that is 3 gigabytes, let's say, in size, you can download it with a 3G network in 1 hour and 8 minutes, in a 4G connection about 40 minutes, and now with the 5Gs, if it is applied in our countries, because there are some reactions, allow me to say, you will only need 35 seconds to download a movie of 3 gigabytes. Can we imagine the whole scenery, how it has changed in 25 years? So if you wanted to download back in 1996 a low quality movie with a lot of pixels, around 700 megabytes, for example, it would take you more than a day at full speed, or 3 to 5 days at low speed. So this was the situation back 25 years ago, and the situation now, of course, is totally different. We are having an online conference right now. We can see each other through our videos, and the connection, of course, depending on the home devices we have at our places, you see it's going on pretty well. So this is in terms of comparison, to see how it was 25 years ago and how it is now in 2020. So allow me to proceed with the next slide. So if we go back in the first mobile, we would say, and especially the ones that they were using in the ships, the one to the left, this is a satellite phone. And of course, all this has changed. And now we have devices, the known ones, the smartphones. So with this device, we can do everything we need and everything we see to the right part of this slide. So if 20 years ago you had to have all these devices that you can see in the right part of the slide, so you needed a tape recorder, you needed a VHS camera, you needed a Walkman, you needed a pickup, you needed the player, the VHS player, you needed all these tapes to record it and so on and so forth. Now you do have all these things in your mobile, in your smartphone, and you can do almost everything you want with such a one device that's replacing all these that you can see in the right part of our slide. So I think the smartphones are not only, not I think, I strongly believe that the smartphones are not only devices that they have changed totally the landscape, the digital landscape, but they have also transformed our lives into a more digital environment where we can even connect to this online conference from our mobile, for example. So I think this is a very optical example to see and compare the two different ages, before 2000 and after 2000. So going now back to our days again, let's see what is the overview of challenges and which is the current landscape, because especially with COVID-19, I think the landscape has totally transformed, and it's for sure it's not going to be the same as it used to be, as I said in the beginning of my presentation 3 months ago. So, and if it is difficult somehow to for us to adjust in this new era, imagine how more difficult it is for our kids to adjust in terms of psychological impact I'm referring to. So by showing this slide, you can see some very familiar applications, but you may also see some applications that you don't even know that they exist. So we have, of course, the icon of Facebook, we have Twitter, you can recognize Instagram, Google+, YouTube, you can Blogger, Vimeo, GPS, the sound, the Pinterest, the LinkedIn, Reddit, and so on and so forth, IMDb. But I'm sure that there are some applications that not only you, but even I don't know of their existence. So it's very difficult to cope with all these applications that they are in both Google Play Store and also in um, iCloud. So I think this slide represents exactly how it's the current landscape we are talking about. Of course, we are not the ones that should use all of these applications, but we should choose the ones that they are appropriate for us. And here is the factor which has to do with the kids. Which of these applications are the most useful for our kids? So WhatsApp, which is a very familiar, or even Viber, which is a very familiar for the kids application, Skype as well as a meeting tool. There are, of course, some others, and we will see a specific one later on as my presentation goes on. And this is a very critical point to which of these applications may be offered to kids, because when a kid has its own mobile device, when a kid has its own smartphone, then he's free or she's free to download whatever application they can and they want. They are free to do so. The only limitation, it's the age restriction, if it is provided by the manufacturer of the application. And all these icons that we see in the specific slide, it's the industry, the heavy industry of internet. So all these icons refer to companies, and the companies, the enterprises in our world, what they want to do, what it's the most ultimate goal, to earn money. So when an application is offered free, then we should consider if we can take advantage of this application, the purpose of this application, and if we really need this application. And if I'm allowed to open a parenthesis, when you're not using an application for whatever reason, you download it and you're not going to use it again, then a simple hint that I can give you is to take it out from your device. So a simple piece of advice I would give you is, when you don't use anymore any application in your smartphone, then you should really take it off your device. So if I want you to hold an element from the specific slide, it's not all these applications, but when we're seeing these applications, or even one of these applications, they belong to the spectrum of heavy industry in internet. So as music is an industry, as tourism is an industry, there we have as well the industry of internet. So one little piece of advice we can give to the kids is that you should watch out. They may offer you this application for free, but you should think before you use it. There, in this specific slide, there are also some Russian applications. There are also some Chinese applications that they exist only in the Chinese world, in the Chinese, internet landscape. So you may as well see that all this thing is transformed in a very specific and peculiar, as I said before, way. So everything okay before I proceed?
If they need to translate to Turkish, I can help, but most of our friends say it's okay, so we can go on, I think.
Okay, thank you very much for the confirmation.
You're very welcome.
So one very trendy, allow me to say, application which is being used lately is, I think you may have seen already too many funny small videos. It's TikTok. So TikTok, now if we consider that our kids were using Facebook before we found out about Facebook, and they went to Instagram, and then the parents and the teachers, the colleagues, went also to Instagram and made their accounts there, so they could have, or they thought they could have, a control over their kids. Now kids have already discovered TikTok. TikTok is there, and the reason I'm referring to TikTok is the specific one. sorry, allow me to go back to this because I need to define what is TikTok for those who don't and not are familiar of this. And I'm not trying to make a commercial about TikTok. On the contrary, TikTok is an application for sharing short videos. Is a Chinese video sharing social networking service owned by a specific company. I repeat, a Chinese video sharing, and why I'm giving more basis onto this, I will come when I give you also that it allows users to create about a 15 seconds video on any topic they like. So even if you didn't know TikTok before COVID-19, I'm sure you invented it, you found out about it, and you learned what TikTok is about. Because a lot of adults, and especially the ones in the health sector, the doctors and some paramedics staff, they were using it making funny videos, let's say, in order to somehow give a positive impact to what is happening, which was already a big a negative thing by the virus, I mean. So this is an application that the kids are very fond of this right moment we're talking about, and for the last months actually they have been using a lot since 2019, and we'll see its history. And the reason I'm referring to TikTok is if you want to have a clue about an application, give it as an example, that your kids in Turkish or Greek schools are using, the best thing you have to do, allow me to give you a piece of advice, is to download it yourself. So in order to see what's going on with this application, not in order to use it, but in order to see why the kids are going crazy with this application. So and the reason behind this, and I'm advising you to do so, is if you have an opinion about a specific application, and not only about TikTok, then you already know how this thing affects the kids, and and you have an opinion of yourself, so you can talk about it with the kids. The kids need the adults, the kids need their parents, and mostly their teachers, to be aware of the current landscape, what's going on in the digital world. So if they know that you are aware of this or any application they are using, then they appreciate you more. They know that they have to do with the teacher that he's experimenting, that he's confident or she's confident about him herself. And so they know that the teacher at some point will limit them in the use of the application. Here in Greece, I don't know what the situation is in your country. For example, by law, kids, they need their parents' consent above 15 years old in order to use social media. But of course, in reality, you can understand very well that this law is not so applied in a big percentage, let's say. So I don't know, Turan, with what is the case for the use of social media in Turkey. So if you want to share it with us, I would be more than happy.
Yeah, we like use the social media as Turkish people. I'm also use social media, especially TikTok. I don't know, Aris, do you use TikTok in your mobile phone?
Um, Personally, I don't use it, but I have downloaded in order to see what's this application for. So no, I would never make a funny video, to answer to
Yeah,
your question.
it's
How about the kids though? Can they use social media, and after what age they can use it in Turkey?
um I'm sorry, I don't know about the age
Okay.
uh, for kids, but I know that the kids in Turkey also use TikTok for funny videos. Mm, yeah,
Yeah. And the thing is that if they are allowed to use their mobile, this is prohibited in Greece by the Ministry of Education. But if they are allowed to use it or take it out in one of the breaks, they can make funny videos of their teachers. So we have to have this in our mind. So we know that after a video, even if it's a short one, is uploaded on internet, then there is no way that you can take it out. I mean, in terms of, of course, you can go with the procedure and take it out, but since it's uploaded, it's there, so it will be shared no matter what. Even in one day, a short video can be viral. So you can imagine what I'm talking about. So why I'm referring mostly about TikTok? Look at this timeline of the specific application. It was launched in 2014 as Musical.ly. So the company, ByteDance, launched Douyin in 2016 and renamed it to TikTok. 2016, 4 years ago. So they rebranded it as TikTok in 2018, and by February 2019, they had already 1 billion downloads. So you can imagine the success of the specific application. And I'm saying again that I'm not trying to do any commercial about the specific application. It's only an example to show that we are referring to the heavy industry of internet companies. So they're talking in money. They are enterprises. They are companies. So they need the personal data. They need the data, the videos that their users, their customers, are using. And so all these videos, they belong to the specific company, and they can do whatever they want, or even charge it after 1 or 2 years. So in 2018, TikTok merged with Musical.ly, and we have now a very successful, if we think about it in the business world, for them application. So the point is, and my argument to the pupils, to the kids is, you want to be a passive user of these applications, or do you want to make your application or your program or your contribution to this digital ecosystem? This is the question that you should refer to your kids, to your students, to your pupils. I think this is very important for them to realize, and they need, as I said before, the limits, both by their parents and both by us, the teachers. So enough with TikTok. Social media and challenges. So if we see these sketches to the, I'm positive that you already have heard about the Blue Whale Challenge. It was viral about 1.5, 2 years ago. So it made a fuss, mostly because the journalists gave it this dimension. So when it was made a fuss about the Blue Whale Challenge, the let's say the thinker of this challenge, which was who was a Russian kid, he was already into jail. So, and most of these things, as this picture that you can see, they were somehow made of and not really happen, but it was a reality. So if we think to this left part of the presentation, where we see this cartoon saying to a man, jump off the cliff, and he would say no way. If we put a hashtag there and we say hashtag jump off the cliff challenge, and we make a challenge to it, then it's most probably that he will jump off the cliff. So of course it's a funny situation about Insta, about WhatsApp, about Viber, about anything, any of these applications. But really, the kids, they do somehow fall into the trap of the challenges. So they think of many different bizarre ways in order to, and this is the point that we should consider, why they're trying to get into challenges, and mostly internet challenges. This is a very question that we should do to ourselves. Well, when a kid tries to show off something for him or her, either a boy or a girl, it's because probably they feel less confident about themselves. And it's logical to feel less confident in the age of primary education or when they are teenagers. Because think about it. Think when you were a teenager, how you were experimenting back in our years. So the next time you talk to your students about challenges, try to get to listen to them and get out why they're doing this challenge, and try to say as many things in order to make it to spot out the weaknesses in this challenge, and that all these challenges are foolish. Only creative challenges are there for our students, and for them we should refer to it, and we should proceed by creating and not by doing stupid things. I could give you a lot of examples. I didn't want to, because I was watching a lot of videos during this week about strains and challenges that you cannot even imagine. But speaking of challenges, on the eSafety label site, there is a lot of educational material in order for you to discover it and find out and see specific challenges, and you would see them, and most of it you would think that how they think and how mostly they do these challenges. So my answer to the challenges, my piece of advice to the challenges is try to provide confidence in your students. This is the keyword element for the kids, either in small ages in the primary education or being teenagers. Kids need to be self-confident. They need that they can trust, if not their parents, which may be a paradox, at least their teachers, because we as teachers, we are the second parents of the kids, and we should feel and take care of them in the most emotional way, so we can provide this confident element to them, so they can feel they can trust us, and they can tell us things, and they can share their digital world, so we can prevent things or challenges like this we see. So allow me to proceed, because I don't really like this face, seeing it anymore. So let's go to Mendy.com again. Use the same code, and I have a quiz for you. Please, I'm waiting for you. 313416 is the code. I'm waiting for you to participate, to play into this, so I can start it. I think that I like the ready, I can start the quiz. How many? So, let me start the quiz. Okay. Ready? Shall I proceed? What we as teachers can do for our school at eSafety. You have 30 seconds to answer. Most of all, I'd say I would like you to be awesome. Okay. Whatever you answered, all of your answers are correct to begin with. The correct answer I would give, as I said, all are correct answers. To get the safety label as soon as possible in your school. So it was somehow provocative, please allow me to say, in order because I spoke so much already. And what you, all of us can do as teachers for our school, is give some time there at the safety label side and try to see how much our school is providing with safety and confidence, so we can feel stronger about our school. If you don't get don't be disappointed. It may be better because it may give you directions how your school can go on until it can enter the safety label. So that we can see it as a challenge. This is a creative challenge for us. Site. So now you can hear me. Okay. So what can I do as a parent, or what can I do as a teacher? The first thing we can all do, is visit the eSafety label site. The second thing I suggest you to do is to go to this specific page, which is material up to date, and I'm referring to the recent project which was until December 2019, the eSafety Label Plus. And believe me, you can find material, reliable material, up-to-date material, and it's there for you. You take it, you use it, and you see that even for yourself, you will find out things that will be very important, so you can share it with your pupils. And my third suggestion is to read. I would like to please you to read, asking you, reading this report, which was an output from the specific project, and it's about 64 pages. If you find some time, please download it from the site and read it. It will be for you a valuable piece of knowledge in order to see how things are not only in Europe or in Turkey, but all around the world. And I think the most common issue that probably we are challenged with is the cyberbullying, or the bullying that takes place in schools. Okay, I think that the colleague raised the hand. Can we have the questions at, because I'm also, I have 5 minutes, I think, and I can accept questions at the end, by the end of my presentation. And the fourth suggestion is to go to this specific page and see the champion, the ambassadors for from 4 specific countries, Czech Republic, Portugal, Greece and Belgium have produced. It will be very, believe me, very important to your work task. So let's go again to Menti. Last time we use it. How would you prioritize these issues? The screen time overuse, the fake news spreading. You go to menti.com, 313416, it's the code, and online challenges, fake news spreading, or social media addiction. How would you prioritize these issues? What is the most important for you? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be interesting to see. And all this, of course, refer to the theme of our presentation, social media and kids. It's interesting. Let's have some more responses before I proceed. Online challenges, 33% so far. We have 15, 26, 29. Okay, it's increasing. Social media addiction. Quite interesting. Okay. There is no wrong or right to this. It's exactly how would you prioritize these issues. So feel free to express your opinion. Social media addiction still on the first place by 33% of our 55 participants so far. Quite interesting. Fake news spreading, online challenges, screen time overuse. And I think social media addiction, by far, it's taking the lead. And it's an issue, a very important and serious issue that we should consider, especially now with the virus, because all these kids were at home. So, you know, the parents were like, what do I do with my kid? You know, can I be with my kid 18 hours per day? So the kids there, I think they had more freedom, allow me to say, to use digital devices. And this is a very, chronically speaking, a very serious issue to see into this, about the addiction to the screen as well, to the social media in particular. So thank you very much for your answers so far. Allow me to proceed. Thank you for participating in this non-typical, of course, demographic, poll. So the message is social media addiction is the more important for you in terms of your prioritizing these issues. And use, I remember myself looking into the sea a few months ago, and I saw a boat passing by, and it was writing on the deck, safety first, safety for the crew first. So the captain was saying to its crew that you should consider your safety first. If we want to rephrase this thing, we would say, eSafety first, and eSafety label, it's the answer for us specifically. So allow me to say once more in my presentation that you should include this digital tool to your school environment, to your school ecosystem. And did we have to go to the, because I cannot see my screen. Let's go once more, the last time. This is the last time, okay, for the Mendy.com. What's your aim? Bronze, silver, all gold label. You have 10 seconds to answer. There is a correct answer to it, to be frank. So, time's up. Gold label, of course, this is the target. You should aim and you should target always to be first. And I'm glad that you are pointing out for this. But of course, you have to go through a silver, through bronze and silver approach. And we have a winner here. So Ugur, if I'm saying this correctly, is the winner with, he was the fastest. He answered in the most fast way. These are challenges, and Mentimeter is a nice tool to include it in your classrooms. So kids like this kind of, quizzes. So you will have them on your side. They see this as games. So, Teşekkür ederim. Ευχαριστώ. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope I was on my time.
Yes. Dear Aris, thank you very much for your beautiful presentation. And I'm sure it's been very useful and very inspiring for our teachers. Hopefully, we would like to see you in Turkey in our face-to-face organizations as soon as possible, but when everything is back to normal. Thank you.
Of course. I can accept any questions because this is the questions and answers. I saw some raising hands before. If I'm allowed, of course, to your thank you as well for your attention. I thank all of your participants.
Arkadaşlar? Aris, sorunuz varsa cevaplayabilirim diye belirtti. Sorularınız varsa chat box kısmına yazabilirsiniz.
Thank you as well. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Thank you so much. I thank you for your time. It's my pleasure. And last year, Turan, we were in Izmir together, and
yes, I remember.
You had a multilateral there meeting. Yes. It was very nice. Was impressed by your organization, and congratulations for this. I think you're doing an excellent job in your country, and I would like to thank not only your colleagues from your country, you for honoring me to have the keynote presentation, but also 60 Greek teachers that entered into this online conference. Congratulations for the idea as well. So
yes,
it was excellent and quite good time, I'd say. So
we would like to thank them for Greek teachers also. 60 teachers today, they participated to this online conference. Thank you for you, Aris, and for your Greek teachers also. For your
my honor was mine. I see a question here. Can you tell something about kindergarten aids? Okay, this is a very good question. And you know when a teacher says that this is a very good question, when he already knows the answer. So kindergarten aids is the most important one, and kindergarteners should be very sensitive. Of course, I wouldn't suggest mobiles. I wouldn't suggest any devices. There, the limit should be very strict. Half an hour, 1 hour at the most, no more than that. And seeing probably videos, cartoons on on the tablet or in any smartphone, in our smartphone device, because in this age, kids are very, they want to use it, and as much time we give them, then more time they will ask for it in the future. So it needs more and more attention, especially for this tender age. So this is my answer about the kindergarten age. So I would like to thank you. It is nothing is easy at life. Okay, nothing is easy. So I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's somehow complex, let's say, but if you spend some time in the beginning, then you will see that it was worth going for it. Okay, so thank you as well. This was a comment about kindergarten teachers. Kindergarten teachers, I said as before, that you should be very, very cautious, and you should advise the parents not to fall into this trap of the digital devices. Thank you for your nice comments. Thank you for your time. Ευχαριστώ. Teşekkür ederim once again.
Teşekkürler. Thank you.